AITA for telling my teenage son the truth about why his father is in prison. After his dad's family told him it was my fault. My ex-husband is serving a 7-year sentence. My son is 15 and has been told by his paternal grandparents that his father is in prison because I pushed him to it and destroyed the family. Last month, my son came home and told me he hated me and that his dad's family had said I was the reason for everything. I looked at my 15-year-old son and I decided he was old enough for the truth. I have been protecting my son from the specific details of his father's actions since the arrest 3 years ago. He was 12 when his dad was taken away. I told him what I believed a 12-year-old could hold, that his father had made some very serious mistakes, that what happened was not his son's fault, that his dad still loved him, and that the legal process would take time. I did not tell him what his father had done, because I believed the most important thing was preserving my son's ability to have a relationship with his father that was not entirely defined by the worst thing his father had ever done. I thought that was the right choice. I thought I was protecting him. His father's family, his grandparents specifically, had been visiting my son regularly throughout the sentence, which I had encouraged because they are his family, and I did not want to sever connections that were important to him. Last month, my son, who is 15 years old, came home from a visit to his grandparents with a different quality of anger than I had seen from him before. He came into the kitchen and told me that his grandfather had explained what really happened, that his father had been driven to make mistakes by the stress I had created in the marriage, that if I hadn't been the way I was, none of this would have happened, and that his dad was a good man in a bad situation I had created. He told me he hated me. He told me his nan had cried talking about how much his dad missed him and it was all because of me. I want to be clear, I did not respond immediately. I gave myself 24 hours. I spoke to my therapist. I considered very carefully the question of what my son needed to know versus what I wanted him to know, because those can be different things, and I have tried to hold that distinction throughout. Then I sat him down and I told him what his father had done. His father was convicted of embezzling from a charitable organization. The organization ran hospices. He had stolen from a charity that ran hospices for the terminally ill over a period of 4 years, totaling approximately £240,000. He was caught when an internal audit flagged discrepancies. I did not know about any of this during our marriage. Am I the asshole? Update, 4 months later. My son did not speak to me for 3 days after I told him. I gave him those 3 days because he needed them and because I trusted that he would come back. On the 4th day, he came and sat beside me on the sofa without saying anything. We watched television for an hour. Then he said, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I said I had been trying to protect his relationship with his dad. He was quiet for a moment and then he said, "I don't think that was the right call." He said it without cruelty. He said it as an observation. I said, "I know, I'm sorry. He has not visited his grandparents since." That was his decision. I did not suggest it. He told me he needed some time before he could sit across from them and pretend he didn't know what they had done. He has been to visit his father in prison once since I told him the truth. He came home quiet in a way I was monitoring, but did not push. A week later, he told me the visit had been hard because he had looked at his father and felt 2 things at the same time, that he was still his dad, and that he didn't know who his dad was. He said that was a weird thing to feel about the same person. I told him it wasn't weird. I told him I had felt exactly that same thing and that holding 2 things about the same person was one of the harder parts of being human. He is doing okay. We are doing okay. We are more honest with each other now than we have been in 3 years. NTA or ITA, was 15 old enough for the truth? Comment below.